Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. As you can see in the thumbnail, as well as in the title, I have a new bike. And in today's video, we're gonna go over what the bike is, what's on the bike, and what to expect from the channel here in the winter. The bike that I picked up is a 2021 Norco Bigfoot 2. 27.5 inch wheels, 4.5 inch wide tires, and they are studdable, which was some thing I wanted to start out with looking at fat tire bikes. Studdable tires, 27.5, and some pretty modern geometry for the frame. I did my first ride on the bike here at Battle Creek, kind of talk about the spec of the bike, how much it cost me, why I went with the Norco Bigfoot, maybe give you guys some insight of being a first-time fat biker. There was a lot of things I had to consider when buying a fat bike. You know, how often would I be out and riding? What's my commitment level? But seriously, enough rambling from me. Let's get into the video. Let's talk about the bike. Let's talk about what's on it. And let's talk about the first experience I've had on the new 2021 Norco Bigfoot 2. The first on my list of considerations when looking for a fat bike, it needed a bell. So starting with the frame, it is a butted X6 alloy. The fork is a 6061 alloy, 15 by 150 millimeters. The headset is a sealed bearing tapered, and the headset spacer is 2 by 10 millimeter, and they're in solid black. For the drivetrain, we kind of have a mixed bag. We have Shimano and we have Praxis. So everything with the shifting is controlled by Shimano Dior 12-speed M6100 group set. The only caveat, this is all controlled with a different crankset and bottom bracket. So the crankset is a Praxis Cadet M30, and then the bottom bracket is a Praxis M30 BSA threaded. Crank arms are 175 millimeters for medium, large, and XL. If you get a small frame, it's 170 millimeter. Going up into the cockpit, we pretty much have house brand everything. So the grips, the stem, the bars, the saddle is all Norco in-house branding. For the stopping power of this bike, it is all controlled by SRAM level hydraulic brakes. For the rotors, we have 180 millimeters in the front and 160 millimeters in the back. And then for the seat post, we have a Transx YSP 18 dropper post, and the diameter is 31.6 millimeters. And lastly, we have the wheel and tire combination. So starting with the hubs, we have a generic sealed bearing 15 by 150 millimeter up front. For the rear hub, we have a Bear Paws 12 by 197 millimeter micro spline. For the rims, they're alloy tubeless ready 27.5. Front tire and the rear tire are both the same. They're V Snow Avalanche TLR 4.5, 120 TPI, and they are both studdable. When doing some review on different fat bikes, there was a couple other brands I was taking in consideration. This would be Giant, Specialized, Salsa, and Framed. The other bikes from these brands did match kind of the similar spec in price range, but Norco had a couple more things to their advantage or over advantage of the brands. I'm getting confused, but the Norco had a dropper post, 27.5 inch wheels. You can say your opinion down in the comments. You know, I can't trust hydraulic brakes in a hydraulic dropper post in the winter. It's gonna freeze. We'll test that out. We'll see if, you know, I don't expect anything happening to the brakes in the winter or the dropper post unless I'm riding in negative 30 degree weather. But I just don't foresee myself riding in those temperatures. So we'll see. But the Norco had a lot of things that I had on my list, and the Norco Bigfoot filled those items. And to talk about my experience of being on this bike, so two things. This is my first time ever owning a fat bike, as well as my first time ever riding a fat bike. What a difference it is. These massive tires made it a whole different experience. When these tires roll, they just keep going. They pull you in which way they want to go. So you really have to fight the bike almost. And the biggest difference and biggest obstacle I noticed when riding, when I went down Wall of Death, usually on my bike I just go full speed, but this I kind of had to be a lot more careful of how I was riding the bike. You know, I had the mindset, the mentality, go as fast as you can, I'll make it smoother. This was not the case with this bike, and after the ride, my hands and my wrist, my back, we were no longer friends. So there you have it. There's my new bike, the Norco Bigfoot. I cannot wait to start fat biking this winter and bring you guys along. And since I'm new to this whole new fat biking in the winter, I know there's people down in the comments that are experiencing this kind of discipline of mountain biking. So please leave any tips and tricks on bike setup, clothing. Please put them out in the comments because I need your help. I'm a total noob at this right now, so everything is a learning experience. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you liked it, go ahead, hit the like button. And if you guys want to see more trails and more fat biking from me, go ahead, hit the subscribe button. I'll see you guys on the next trail.
Showtime in the mirror, lights that make you look good, coated with that pastel, wanna disappear, so we Showtime in the mirror, G4 for that wall art, try